So the first one that we'll be reading today is, am I the asshole for telling my dad's husband I don't want him to adopt me and his bringing up my dead father is not winning me over? Oh, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I, 16 male, have 2 dads. One died before I was born. Daddy. He was my non-bio father and his best friend was my parents' surrogate. She's my auntie. My dad is my bio parent and my daddy's widower. Aw. And yeah, I said dad and daddy and still say daddy at 16. Aw, this poor kid. Dad always referred to daddy as daddy to me, so I use it. I mean, that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. A month before I was born, daddy died. My dad changed completely that day. Because of where we live, even back then, my daddy was still able to be recognized on my birth certificate. It was really uncommon back then, but he won the case thanks to Auntie and their other family members recognizing my 2 dads. Yeah, let's go, Auntie. I grew up always knowing about daddy and I always cherished the connection to him. I was always glad my dad won the right for both of them to be legally my parents. I was also always treated like their son, not just dads or not dads and auntie. When I was 4, my dad tried to date again and he met Sam. They dated for about 3 months, but dad wasn't ready and Sam didn't like what he saw. What? Okay. They dated for about 3 months, but dad wasn't ready and Sam didn't like what he saw. What is... okay. Rude? He felt jealous and insecure that he wasn't being brought in as another dad for me. In 3 months? What do you mean? Hold on. He felt jealous and insecure that he wasn't being brought in as another dad for me. That's so weird. They reconnected when I was 8 and got married when I was 12. My relationship with Sam is complicated and weird and he wants to adopt me. But I don't want him to be my dad. I don't want to be adopted by him or to have him take care of me if I become an orphan. He has always made it a point to bring up the fact that he wasn't my bio father in the first place and how legally it was a miracle he's even on my birth certificate. What the? What do you mean? I hate it. It feels so gross. That's valid. Oh my god. He told me at least I'll know him while daddy is someone who's just saintly in my mind because I wasn't allowed to process only having one parent. What the f is Sam's problem, brother? Hold on. Sam, you need to chill out. What the f? Even though I know I was raised by one parent, but I still had 2. He just wasn't here, and I read the book he was putting together for me. Aww! He documented a lot of the parenting journey and surrogacy stuff and the pregnancy until his death. Aww! He was so excited. He loved me so much. He wanted me so badly. Aww! Dude, Sam, go away. The f— oh no. On Father's Day, no. On Father's Day, we had a big fight over adoption. Dad was out and Sam brought up the adoption to me. Of course he would do that while he's out. You stinky guy. He told me he's tired of feeling like an outsider because I always treat him like dad's spouse instead of my stepdad or my parent. I told him because that's what he is and he has to learn to accept that. I told him nothing changed for me. He told me it's stupid because I love one stepdad so much more. I told him daddy is more than just a stepdad, and then I told him I don't want him to adopt me ever, and bringing up daddy isn't winning me over. I told him if anything, he's making me wish dad had found someone better. Oh. Okay, alright, I see. Dad doesn't know what happened, but things have been tense since, and Sam and I went too far. Am I the asshole? No, your buttons were pushed. Cause what in the hell? What makes you think it's okay? I'm having a hard time. Like, why? Like, what makes you think it's okay to just be like, trying to talk shit? Essentially, you don't know him. So I'm here. You know me. That's weird. Isn't that a little weird? I don't know. Yeah, you're the asshole. Well, no. OP is not the asshole. Not the asshole. Sam is the asshole. Fuck you, Sam. Also, I'm sorry for anyone who's named Sam. I don't mean you. I mean this guy, Sam.
No, that's all Sam.
You need to talk to your dad and tell him everything. Does your dad know? Oh, yes. Okay, there we go. Okay. You need to talk to your dad and tell him everything. Does your dad know what Sam is doing? Sam has no right to try and erase your daddy regardless if you met him or not. He still is and always will be your daddy. You're not the asshole, however, Sam is. Yep. Dad doesn't know. See, waits until he's not in the room to bring it up. And what do you mean he didn't like what he saw earlier? I don't get that part. Dad doesn't know. I always knew this would be the end of their marriage if he knew. Oh no! Drama mama! I want my dad to be happy, so I kept quiet. child. But I guess that's not such a great idea anymore, especially if it comes out in a more explosive way eventually. Oh my god, no, this poor kid, wow, not the asshole, not the asshole. Okay, this one is, am I the asshole for wearing an American flag speedo to a pool party and embarrassing my girlfriend? I'm gonna say yes, even though it's funny. Like, I read it as like, okay, like whatever, but like if you're going to Reddit to like talk about it, I don't know. But yes, I'm gonna say yes. My girlfriend, 27 female, and I, 28 male, have been together for about 18 months. We don't fight often, but our biggest fight came earlier this year and I questioned what she wanted to wear to a groom's dinner at my friend's wedding. I was in the wedding party and we had spent the entire day setting things up for the wedding. The groom's dinner was that night and was going to be a very casual affair since everyone was sweaty and tired from working all day. My girlfriend arrived later in the day and asked me if I could meet her at our hotel so she could change. When we got back to the hotel, she put on a pretty fancy dress, kind of like a cocktail dress that she would wear to a club. I told her that the groom's dinner was going to be casual since everyone had worked all day and people were going to be dressing up. She scolded me and told me that I don't get to tell her what to wear. Oh no. She said she will give me a pass that one time, but I should never again criticize or question what she wants to wear. Oh no. Oh man. No, okay, hold on. I feel like that's an important detail there. I dropped it, but when we got to the dinner and she saw how overdressed she was, she got embarrassed even though people commented on how good she looked. This past weekend, we were invited to a pool party at my girlfriend's friend's house. Since it was close to the 4th of July, I decided to break out my American flag speedo that I got in college as a joke. I was trying it on before we left to make sure it still fit okay, and my girlfriend saw me. She asked me what the f I was wearing and told me that I can't wear that. What? I asked her why not, and she told me it's gross, revealing, and unattractive. I told her the same thing she told me at the wedding, that she doesn't get to tell me what to wear. She told me that it's not the same situation at all and I'm going to make a fool of myself. I told her that if I'm wearing this speedo, clearly I don't take myself too seriously and that I will bring a spare swimsuit if she's going to make such a big deal out of it. When we got to the pool party, I took off my shorts to reveal the speedo and got a few laughs from my girlfriend's friends. I started playing some pool volleyball with some of the other guys there and just went about my day having fun. My girlfriend spent most of the day inside by herself or with a few friends. She barely came out by the pool. One of the few times she came out, she pulled me aside and asked me to please change out of the speedo because I'm embarrassing her. I told her that she's the only one who is making a big deal out of this and that if I'm in the pool, no one notices or cares anyway. She went back inside after that. When we got home that night, she wouldn't talk to me, so I gave her some space. She came to me a bit later and asked me if I was going to apologize to her. I told her I don't feel like I have anything to apologize for, and she told me I embarrassed her all day even after she told me to take off the speedo. I told her she needs to loosen up because she's making a big deal out of a little fun joke, but she thinks I'm an asshole. No, not the asshole. Not the asshole, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's the reason why it got to this point, probably. He did use her logic against her, which is the thing, but then it's like, that comment she made earlier, I'm like, I don't know about that. But it seems like there has been a history of telling each other what to wear. Alright, this one is, am I the asshole for telling my sister there were consequences to not helping out our mom? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. So my mom and my sister live a state over. Around a year ago, my mom's home flooded and she needed a place to stay until the insurance fixed it all. My sister lives near mom, 30 minutes away, and mom went to her first for a place to stay. She refused and basically told her to kick rocks. They had a good relationship before this. She wouldn't even let my mom stay for a few days so one of us could pick her up. I drove 7 hours to pick mom up and she stayed with me for 2 months until her home was good. The family was pissed at my sister and it resulted in a discussion about how she never helps anyone out. Everyone has experienced it at some point where she didn't care enough to help out. My biggest example that pertains to me is when my car broke down and my sister refused to pick me up, so I had to walk home and hitch a ride home. This is before Uber took off. I got home and she was on phone dead scrolling. Everyone in the family has examples. We all decided to not help my sister anymore. This is the issue now. She needs a place to stay since she is moving to a new city and her lease on her home ended. So about a month to stay with someone before she can move into her new apartment in the city. Everyone has turned her down. She called me and asked if she could stay with me. I told her no and she started crying why the family won't help her out. I told her that there are consequences for not helping out our mom when she needed it. She called me heartless and hung up. Not the asshole. Yeah, not the asshole. I was like, okay, maybe she like was always like told to do stuff and whatever, but those examples, I'm not sure. I don't think they're the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to sleep on a pull-out couch during vacation? I'm gonna say yes. My initial reaction is absolutely yes. I, 28 female, planned a family trip with my parents and my brother, 25 male. Before I officially booked the Airbnb that we would all be splitting the price on, I sent each of them the listing showing how many bedrooms, what accommodations, etc. I made sure to double check with my brother as the house is only 2 bedrooms. One room has 2 full-size beds, the other has a king bed. I asked if he would mind sharing a room with me as 3 bedrooms in the area were harder to find. He said it was fine because we each have our own bed and asked me to book it. Once our parents signed off on it, I booked it. When we arrived, before we even have our first night's sleep, my brother declares he thinks he and I should alternate sleeping on the pull-out couch in the living room. What the I say, I'm not going to do that. If he doesn't want to sleep in the room designated for us, that's fine, but I'm not sleeping on a pull-out on vacation when there's 2 beds. I asked why he doesn't want to share a room, why this didn't come up sooner. He said we were adults and that he was too old to share a room. What do you mean? What do you mean? I asked why he didn't bring this up sooner. He said he figured I'd agree to the pull-out situation. What a dick. I said he shouldn't have assumed or at least had a conversation with me. He kept insisting and I said no. If he wants to sleep out there our whole vacation, fine, but I'm not alternating when I paid for a bed. Him sleeping on the pull-out led to several conflicts with our parents, as he'd get mad if they came into the living room in the morning while he was still sleeping, but as they pointed out, it's the living room, a public space. If people wanted to hang out in the living room at night, he'd start bugging us to go into our room so he could sleep, as early as 8 p.m. We're on vacation, we're going to stay up a little later and hang out. I always offered to let him sleep in the extra bed in the room, but he refused unless I promised that I would sleep on the pull-out that night, which I didn't do. What is your problem? What is your problem? By the end of this 7-day, 6-night trip, he was irritated with all of us over this. My parents and I feel he's the one who put himself in the situation, that there was an alternative to him sleeping on the couch, but he chose not to. However, my brother is insisting that I should have swapped with him. Am I the asshole for not sleeping on the pull-out? No! What the? No! Dude, your brother's a dick! I'm sorry, that's your brother. Not the asshole. Is this typical of your brother? Oh! Right on. Right into it. As of late, yes. We were not raised to be spoiled in the slightest, but as he's gotten older, he's starting to act more entitled and doesn't communicate as well as he used to. I definitely think he feels above us, thus too big to share a room with his sister. So I'm gonna get his own hotel room then. Am I the asshole for shrugging when my dad's wife told me they need all of dad's money right now? What? I'm confused. Am I the asshole for shrugging when my dad's wife told me they need all of dad's money right now? I'm gonna say no. No? I, 17 male, might be the asshole, and I might be a big one, but I wanted to get people's insight. So my dad left my mom when I was 14 to be with his wife, the woman he was cheating on my mom with. Oh, my dad didn't want me to think badly of him, but I did. Okay, dad, like, oh my god. He knew I did, and he knew he couldn't change my mind easily. We always knew my parents would end up with shared custody until I was 17 at least. From experience, the judges in family court will only stop enforcing shared custody when the kid turns 17 and speaks out. Any younger and they insist on 50-50. I also knew mom would struggle on her own because while she did work, she never made as much as my dad. She also wouldn't get child support because of the 50-50 and it wasn't ordered even the difference in income. So when dad pleaded with him to give him a chance to show he could still be a good dad and he said he would do anything for me, I told him to keep supporting mom and to make sure she wasn't going to end up struggling while he got off easy. I told him she deserved that at least after what he did and that I deserved to see my mom doing well. Snaps. Snaps. Snap. My dad agreed and he paid it as child support instead of spousal support or whatever it's called. It really helped my mom and she actually went back to school so she could get a better job. Dad is still paying that money. He knows I appreciate him doing it and he also knows it's one of the only reasons I didn't just decide to say fuck him and never want a relationship again. My mom is also less stressed. She has mixed feelings about my dad giving her money when legally he doesn't need to, but she also knows this is the only way for me not to feel the need to help support her. Where my dad's wife comes into this, she never liked that I insisted on it for my dad and I to have a relationship. But now my dad's house is struggling a bit and some changes needed to be made. His wife's son and daughter were in dance, football, softball, karate, music lessons, and an art class as paid extracurriculars. Damn, okay. My dad and his wife also have a baby together. The wife's kids had to cut 2 activities because they can't afford it anymore. It pisses his wife off because if dad wasn't paying the money, they could still afford those things. She told me I should stop obligating my dad to support mom because they needed it more, and my mom isn't their problem. I told her she and her kids are not my problem. She told me they're my family while mom is not her or her kids' family or my dad's anymore. This lady makes me mad. This lady makes me so mad. I told her she and her kids are my dad's family, but not mine. Damn. I mean, those poor kids. So honestly, in this situation though, those poor kids. She told me they needed all of dad's money right now before more things need to be cut back on. I shrugged in response. She told me I was so callously flippant and it wasn't a good look to care so little about my siblings' lives. Only one of her kids, the baby, is technically my half-sibling. Am I the asshole? No! Oh my god. It's weird that the mom is like getting mad about it, but like the dad obviously, I think the dad is like feeling guilty, but it was, I don't know. He's probably spending more on the kids and that home anyway. Not the asshole. The f did she expect sleeping with a married man? She could get a second job if money is a problem. Everyone's the asshole. Silly me, assuming she had a job other than home record. Oh. Damn, goddamn. She expected to be like a lot of times where that happens when the man just doesn't give a fuck about the hurt he caused and does no damage control and takes care of her and her people instead. She didn't expect dad to be so bothered by me losing respect for him with his affair and leaving mom like he did. Yeah, I don't think they're the asshole.